Hello everybody, this video is entitled MSTR and Bitcoin, they go risk on first, and Stretch is leading in the background. We're going to talk first about MSTR and Bitcoin, then we're going to talk about Stretch, and of course Bitcoin hitting again the 72,500 mark. We haven't seen this mark in quite a while, and we have grown from the $60,000 lows you may remember 40 plus days ago. This is a very big positive. I very much love Bitcoin rallying in this macro backdrop, which in my view is still very uncertain. In my view, not much has changed, and we don't really know what's going on over there. There's very little information. Even Trump, you can see, Trump says Iran better stop now if it is charging oil tankers. So there's even a question as to whether they're charging money or not to the tankers that go through the strait. What is going on? It's very, very tough to get information, and perhaps the best information we can get is the crude oil prices. Of course, they've dropped quite a bit, but you can see, in my view, when I look at the price, they have a tendency to want to go back up. So again, I'm not too sure we're out of the woods. We'll see. That depends on the next 2 weeks. We have to wait for another Taco Tuesday in 2 weeks. Well, I guess a little less than 2 weeks now. But in the meantime, Bitcoin is pricing in some positive outcome. Bitcoin seems to be going risk on right now, which is so exciting. And of course, Bitcoin up 1.6%. IBIT tracks the price of Bitcoin during market hours. It's up 1.21%. And strategy during market hours was at 0.44. So my guess is that he's ATMing on the common. That would be my guess this time. And I feel very strongly about that guess, by the way, because of the success of Stretch. He needs to catch up on the MSTR ATM. He needs to go fast on the MSTR ATM if you want to keep that ratio of 3-to-1. 3 collaterals worth in Bitcoin for 1 Bitcoin worth of Stretch, essentially, right? You have $300,000 of Bitcoin collateral if you're going to have $100,000 of debt against it, roughly, right? He wants to keep that BTC rating, that BTC ratio, as Saylor calls it. Also, I want to point out, is Bitcoin getting risk on? Well, I want to point out this. Fear and green, we're almost at a 50. We're almost at a 50, so this is significantly up compared to yesterday. And if you look, the last time we were this high, the closest I could find was a 49. The last time we were this high, 49, we're at 48, same thing. Bitcoin price was at 95,000. Today, we're at the same neutral level. Bitcoin price is at 72,500. To me, to a lot of market participants, this is looking cheap. This is looking like a deal to a lot of market participants. And lastly, I will conclude by this part of the title, Stretch leads. Stretch leads. This engineered instrument it's got to be one of the most important financial innovations, in the past 100 years. This is insane. Like he resuscitated the preferred stock, which was a dead market, and turned it into a TradFi rail stablecoin, a Santi stablecoin trading at 100 on TradFi rails. And if you look, like this past week so far has literally been just 1 penny. Just 1 penny of volatility, and of course that is acceptable. That's very similar to stablecoin like Tether or USDC, very, very, very similar. And of course we closed at 100 again, we closed at par again. But perhaps what is the most impressive is the Stretch.live numbers showing that we may have raised enough money for preferreds to buy 5,700 Bitcoin since the beginning of the week. So we are close to $500 million. $500 million buy coming up to be announced on Monday. And that's not taking into account the fact that actually Stretch.live may be greatly underestimating the buys. Because you remember last week, I thought last week Stretch.live was on very much on the low side, right? We're getting better at estimating how much he actually ATMs, but this number could be much higher. This number could be 10,000. Right? Come Friday night. It could be 10,000. And so that would be an enormous buy. That'd be close to $1 billion buy. So anyways, this is a big deal. Stretch is leading. Well, I want to conclude, of course, with a paper for APYX retweeted by Saylor, talking about their own analysis about how 120 billion could flow into BTC via STRC. because of course, every time somebody buys STRC and somebody buys a new issue of STRC, not a used share already on the open market, but a new issue of STRC, whenever that happens, that money flows straight into Bitcoin. So essentially, Saylor is forcing Bitcoin to go up by taking money that was supposedly earmarked for credits, taking money that should have gone to lending to governments or lending to Apple or Microsoft, and he takes that money and puts it into Bitcoin, essentially forcing Bitcoin to go up like a company would force its own stock to go up via a share buyback. That's how extraordinary this is. And I haven't fully read the APYX, very busy with work right now, but I look forward to reading their points. And of course, we have now 3 protocols listing STRC as stablecoins on various DeFi blockchains and DeFi protocols. So it's a really big deal. I'm happy about this today. Stay tuned for tomorrow. More regular reporting tomorrow on all various stocks. I've been very busy with work lately, but tomorrow more regular reporting is coming up. So anyways, this was not investment advice. This is not financial advice. This is only entertainment. I'm hoping you were entertained. Please please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.